Okay, I don't. Stop. So I like to start my broadcasts by staring closely at the screen. I still can't tell if it's streaming. Oh, it's got to be going. We'll assume it's going. If you guys could see my setup in here, it's ridiculous. First of all, it's a studio apartment. I had to move my clothes off my bike, my laundry that was drying, just to get it somewhat manageable. But there's like, just so you can sort of picture it, there's like in front of my face, there's like a monitor where I'm trying to read all this different shit from. Not even read, I don't really have. I have my notes on my phone tonight because I refuse to pay. They want me to upgrade like another $30 for my friggin' iCloud storage because I make so many videos. Apparently, like I've gone over the 1 terabyte limit or whatever it is. So now it's going to be like $30 a month for like 5 terabyte, whatever. I can't even believe it. I'm like, I just can't accept that yet. So notes are on the phone tonight because nothing syncs. It's not like syncing between my MacBook. All my notes are separate. Living in a topsy-turvy world over here. Anyways, I also might need to move this. Okay, I successfully got extracted the chat in case anyone shows up. Like this is like hosting a party and just nobody shows. Anyways, I think that's enough time. We're going to start the show. We get some jokes tonight, so let's go. Is that it? That's this stuff. Here we go. Live from a studio apartment, this is Missed Information. All right, so tonight's... Bear with me while I look on my friggin' phone. Tonight's top stories. And I think I gotta get over here too. Okay. There was a break-in at the Louvre. That was crazy. The Louvre, the French museum. Apparently somebody stole all of the crown jewels from the Louvre. It's insane. Yeah, apparently they have footage of the theft. Is that Trump? Wow. He was really pissed about those No Kings protests, apparently. Yeah. There's Trump has apparently sunk another Venezuelan drug boat. You can see it blowing up there. It's pretty intimidating. This is the first time that the drug dealers are suffering as many casualties as the junkies. Not really a joke, just a fact. But apparently there was so much fentanyl on the boat when it sank, a bunch of dolphins beached themselves and later died on the beach. It was unfortunate. Yeah, the dolphins' deaths were blamed on white cops. Of course. White cops. Apparently they kneeled on one of them trying to help it, and yeah. That's a fire joke. That is one of my favorite political satire jokes. Written this morning, by the way. What the hell we got over here? Okay, I don't know if you guys saw. I probably have a video of this. I'll show you guys later. But Trump over the. Oh, let me just find it. Forget about it. We'll do this thing. Screen capture. Okay, I got it somewhere in here. Oh, come on with that. Oh, this is the video of Trump. He posted a meme of him flying over the No Kings rally and dumping poop on Harry Sisson. Sisson, who's like, I guess he's like a liberal influencer or something. So yeah, it was pretty funny. Everyone was freaking out about it. And so was born the name Harry Pisson. Quite unfortunate. I don't know which video is worse. The Trump posted one or mine. I don't know. Karine Jean-Pierre, you guys all remember her. She was the communications person during the Biden, the end of his term, basically. Yeah, apparently she's written a book in which she says that she left the Democrat Party due to their treatment of Biden and them kicking him out at the very end. Yeah, she says she would have preferred if they'd have just taken him out behind the barn. Just old yellerdom. It was time to put him down. It really was. So, an old picture has resurfaced of a New York mayoral candidate, Zohran Mamdani, eating rice with his hands. Yeah. Which, if he is elected as the first communist mayor of New York, that is how many New Yorkers are expected to be eating their next meals. Just fistfuls of rice for the New Yorkers. I'm going to totally do that joke over. Which, if he's elected the next communist mayor of New York, that is how many New Yorkers will be expected to be eating their next meals. Just fistfuls of rice. At least his shit looked fried. That looked good. Okay, so that's the main stuff. Now we'll kind of discuss the news. The main stuff. That's the jokes, really. Anyways, I got some more notes here. So, I mean, biggest thing this weekend, the No Kings protests happened across the country. I'm sure you guys saw. They were kind of all over the place. They were down by me in San Diego. A little bit sparser than I'd expected. Although I think it was still sizable. I don't know that they were like small amount of protests, but I feel like they were a lot thicker last time. That's what she said. It was a little bit sparse crowds. It was super early. I wanted to go to them actually, and then I was like, dude, it's like 10 a.m. on a Saturday. I don't want to wake up, and I'm a night owl, so I go to sleep at like 4 a.m. when I'm not working the next day, making videos and writing and stuff. So didn't make it out. I mean, to me though, the No Kings protests, I mean, it seemed like the Democrats, to me, are kind of whitewashing the protests. Does it seem that way to you guys? It seems like they realized at some point that it wasn't a good look having the pro-Palestinian protesters burning flags and calling for death to America in the streets. So at some point, I think they decided, for this round of protests, we're going to hold it at like 10 a.m. on a Saturday, early morning on the weekend, when basically only elderly white people are going to show up. We'll tell everybody to leave their Palestinian flags at home. It's not the place for this, because I think they want to be able to protest and create a good image. And by the way, kind of funny, but the Democrats do seem to be getting everything that they're protesting for. Like, they were holding up that Free Palestine flag for a long time, and then Trump freed Palestine. So they got exactly what they wanted. And then they're going to march and hold a protest for No Kings. And it's like, the second that you held up a protest sign, you could have basically been like, hey, it looks like we won. There's no infantry marching us down. I believe we don't have a king. So a funny side effect is they're actually getting pretty much everything they want from their protests. They're like on a generational run of protests right now. Gotta watch it. I mean, one thing to talk about from the protests, we'll kind of go here to the Twitter. So the biggest thing that people are kind of talking about from the protests are, even despite just being like elderly showing up, there were still some like calls for violence and stuff that happened. So couple tabs open here. Here's you can see there were people that were dressed up at one of the No Kings rallies, dressed up, I guess, as Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk's murderer. I assume that's not coincidence. I think that's the what he was wearing in the security footage that they picked him up on. So that's extra creepy. But it does speak to there is a I would say it's not a small percentage of people on the left that there's a small percentage that will openly support political violence. And I think there's a larger group just outside of that that might not explicitly call for it or support it in public because they know a little bit better than that, but they kind of quietly celebrate it. You know, I remember I was at work when Trump got shot, or shot at, I guess shot in the ear. And I remember I just like saw the news on Twitter, you know, because I'm always on there. So I saw it. I thought he was dead, first of all. I saw him drop, and then I scrolling, I see another tweet, he's popping back up, he's fist pumping. I'm like jumping up, I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe this guy survived this. I run out in the front of the office. I work with a lot of ladies. I work in property management, and a lot of liberal ladies. And I'll never forget, like, I ran up to one of them. I was like, oh my God, Trump just got shot. And she was like, okay, what happened? And I was like, he survived. He's like fist pumping. And she got really quiet. Her face was just like, she did one of those, you know, like legitimately, like she did the meme, you know. And I think there are just a group of Democrats who aren't super radicalized, who walk amongst you every day, who just like quietly support that, just hate Trump and believe the world would be better off with him dead, and that it's somewhat justified. So you've got that here. Then the next tab over, more, I guess this was from a Denver No Kings protest. This is so stupid. Kirk had it coming. This is super gross. This is so gross. I don't even, like, I looked at this, I'm like, is this real? Is this like a false flag on the other side? Are we like trying to make liberals look bad somehow, like slipping in conservatives to like pose as idiots like this? Like, I can't believe this is actually real. Like, actually looking at it, though, it says Denver Communists. It's got the sign. Is this real? This looks terrible. Like, it's the worst photo op imaginable. I'm starting to doubt its authenticity now, but I'll bet you anything it is real. So, yeah, some dumb stuff there. This, perhaps the dumbest lady of them all. Apparently, this is I did a couple videos on this on social media, but this is a Chicago elementary school teacher or middle school teacher. Who among us hasn't gotten a little carried away in our bloodlust from time to time? Who amongst us hasn't been at a party or a protest and just gotten swept up in that blood frenzy and decided to point your finger at your neck and support a political assassination? As a teacher, I'm like constantly shocked that these people do this in public, like with these positions too. There's another video of a guy who's like at these protests, let's get rid of this, at these protests calling for people to shoot ICE. I don't know if you guys will be
on the guns on this fascist system. These ICE agents gotta get shot and wiped out. The state machinery, that's a full display right there, has to get wiped out. You gotta grab a gun.
Too far. I mean, I don't know what type of idiocy you have to get up in public and say something like that, because this guy is clearly going to get arrested, right? I mean, he has to be arrested and prosecuted for saying stuff like that. Like, that's insane. And to get up at a political rally, I'm kind of amused a little bit by all of the people that are openly doing that on social media and out in public and just immediately getting murked. It's kind of crazy. I did want to say it's weird being a Trump supporter or being on the right now, because, you know, you have this stuff going on. I know there was some news that they uncovered what looks to be a sniper's nest, or a hunting nest that had a direct line of sight to Air Force One. Right, so I guess the Secret Service found it and is investigating it. You had Trump already shot in Butler, Charlie Kirk assassinated. Is it weird that we've just accepted that, like, Trump will probably get shot or shot at again at some point in time? Like, I feel like being a conservative, you know, everyone on the conservative side really likes Trump and the job he's doing, and you sort of feel like he's on borrowed time just because of all of this trash that's happening, you know? And it's a weird feeling of, like, just constantly kind of being paranoid and wondering sort of not if but when something terrible is going to happen again. You know, I mean, there's so many opportunities that you don't even want to talk about it, but I think that's why it's important to really shame people like this who are out in public, think it's just cool. You know, liberals will say that conservatives are trying to do their own version of cancel culture here, but this is not cancel culture. Cancel culture was liberals disagreeing with conservatives on things they disagreed about, right? And trying to get them fired for it, for righteous sort of reasons. This is literally shaming someone who apparently supports domestic terrorism. And I think it is important to make that really, really taboo. We should do our best to make domestic terrorism support really, really taboo, because I don't know what else would stop it. And I don't know how you, quote unquote, lower the temperature. I think the least you can do is to shame people like this, to make it not normal, and to try to get them fired if you need to, so that, you know, maybe, hopefully, I don't know. It just feels like we're in a really bad place, and I don't know how you fix it, because I feel like there's been so much propaganda pushed by the liberals to their side that has made them hate conservatives, that I don't know that there's any way to walk it back. So just wanted to mention it. It feels kind of terrible and ominous being on the right, especially given that one of our major speakers and thinkers was just shot in the neck a little over a month ago, and this woman is still gleefully celebrating openly in the streets. So I did want to touch on, Trump did have something that he said that was really good about the No Kings protest. I wanted to point out.
Over the weekend, the No Kings protesters.
I think it's a joke. I looked at the people. They're not representative of this country. And I looked at all the brand new signs paid for, I guess it was paid for by Soros and other radical left lunatics. It looks like it was. We're checking it out. The demonstrations were very small, very ineffective, and the people were whacked out. When you look at those people, those are not representative of the people of our country.
Mr. President, besides San Francisco...
By the way, I'm not a king. I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great. That's all it is. I'm not a king at all.
Over the weekend, the No Kings.
Yeah, that's just the perfect counter to the accusation that he's a king. You know, that he works his ass off. I mean, he's framing himself as being, you know, not only am I not a king, but I'm like in the office busting my ass every day to make this country better and to make people safe, right? And I think a big part of the reason why this works so well and hits so hard is because you know it's true. Like, whether you love him or you hate him, I think everyone has seen the videos of Trump coming back from Middle East peace deals on Air Force One, and like in the middle of the night, and, you know, in a suit and his tie down. He looks like he just got off of work, right? But he's been working all day, and he goes back to the White House, and he's up the next morning seemingly in some other huge meeting with a dignitary from another country, and he's doing this, he's doing that. So you do sort of see him working 24/7, and I think it's absolutely true. The line works because it's true, because he does seem to be working his ass off, and that's really the perfect counter to the charge of him being a king, is to say, I'm not a king, I'm just literally working my butt off here. So I think that's mostly it for the show tonight. This was somebody, I guess there was an Amazon outage last night, this morning. And I guess they have some type of web servers that control most of the internet. So when it's down, like everything's down. I did notice this when my my Ashmexa, which controls all my lighting and stuff like that, went down last night. And it is a little bit bizarre how much you get used to that thing. Like, I'm not sure I remember how to turn my lights on and off. Like, I know they have switches, but some of them aren't on switch. They're on like, they're like weird secondary switches to things that are communicating with an Shmulexbla that are like behind the TV or in different places. Like, it is kind of weird. And when you have a smart home, you do get really used to talking to it, which is a weird thing, right? But you get used to just requesting things and it answering. And I have had it go out at periods of time, and it is really weird being in a no longer smart home, a dumb home again. I don't know where the chat went. The little box disappeared, so maybe people are there, maybe not. Oh, no, it popped up. Nobody there. Cool. I threw another party. Nobody came. Sweet. Hopefully this streamed, but in any case, I will see all you guys tomorrow.